Hello! Welcome to a new video. My name is Jessie, and this is going to be a fun one, I hope. I'm going to be taking you through a week of working in my creative journal. Well, 6 days. Close enough. This journal has really evolved over the course of the last 2 years, and if you want to see what I mean, you can go back on my channel and look at my older journaling videos to see just how much it's changed since I started making these videos. I was doing like a lot of stickers and collaging and stuff like that, but I came to this point where all I wanted to do was draw, which is great because I went for so long just not wanting to draw at all, and like now it's just all I want to do. So when I started drawing again, I stopped updating my journal. Like I stopped doing anything in my journal pretty much, but it's something that I always want to keep up with. Even if I take long breaks from it, I always come back to it. So I was like, well, I can just draw in my journal. That way I'll keep up with it and I can just draw because that's what I want to do. So now I'm using it kind of like a sketchbook and a journal combined. And I'm having just a lot of fun with it. I'm trying to draw some kind of illustration each day that comes from my life in some way. On this page, I'm drawing my dog at the river because we went swimming on this day, but we don't do stuff like this every day. A lot of days are really monotonous, but even so, I can usually find something to draw, even if it's just like some food that I ate or something from a TV show that I'm watching or whatever. So you'll see some of the things that I took inspiration from this week, and maybe it will spark some ideas for you. I think finding things to journal about is the hardest part because usually we are just so caught up in the day-to-day and life feels really repetitive sometimes, and it's like, well, nothing special happened today that was worthy of putting in my journal. But that's also why I think it's a really beneficial practice to keep up with. It kind of forces you to notice the little things and it helps you appreciate them more, I think. Of course, you can use your journal however you want to. It doesn't have to be all positive stuff. Like if you want to use it as a space to process emotions or like whatever, go for it. I have a different journal that I do that in, so I do tend to keep this one a little happier, a little bit more focused on memory keeping and kind of like a gratitude practice, I guess. Because even on the most boring days, there's still all these like tiny miraculous things when you stop to really pay attention to them. And I know that's really hard to do sometimes because we're all really busy. We got a lot going on and there's just like a lot to worry about all the time. There's a lot of scary stuff going on and that's heavy. It's really heavy. And I don't blame anyone for getting caught up in all of the doom because I myself have a tendency to do that. But there's always good stuff too that exists right alongside all of that. And I think that letting yourself enjoy that good stuff makes you a little bit better able to deal with all the bad stuff. Or at least it can give you a little bit of a break from it, which is important. So when I come to these pages, I like to reflect on my day, pick out any cute little moments that stood out, or focus on something that I have been interested in. So along with my drawing, I am also adding some text, just a little note about whatever the drawing is. And I had to go back and add this snake to the page because I almost forgot that while we were walking on the trail, I almost stepped on this big fat snake. I don't know, Journey ran into the tall grasses and like, it happened so fast. I don't know where the snake came from, but all of a sudden I glanced down and I see this giant snake right in between my feet. And oh, I'm amazed that I didn't step on it. I think I was levitating, trying to avoid stepping on it. And it was just afraid of getting stepped on, I think, as I was of stepping on it. And we worked it out. I did not step on it, thankfully. But it did, it did startle me quite a bit. See, on this page, this is one of those days where not much was going on, but I did use my Nespresso machine to make a coffee which I haven't been doing lately. It had been a while since I used it. So this was one of those days where I just didn't know what I was going to draw, and I was like, I'm just going to draw my coffee. And I drew the ingredients. My favorite ingredients to make a coffee with right now are this caramel sauce and hazelnut syrup. It might seem really insignificant, but these are like the little details that make up your life, you know? So, also, I just love these wonky little, weird little drawings. I've been really into using watercolor lately, which is kind of funny because I only started playing around with them a couple of months ago, and at first I was like, I kind of hate this. I kind of actually hate this. But I kept picking them up anyway. And now I'm all about it. I just love how loose and free flowing I can be with them. I have learned to kind of like let go of control, and I'm leaning into whatever this kind of juvenile style is, and then outlining with the black pen. I'm really into this. I'm just really having a lot of fun with the watercolors. And I just love having these pages with all these cute little illustrations on them. It's making me really happy right now. I just leave my journal open on my desk, and every time I walk by my office, I pop my head in here and I'm like, oh, I made that. That's so cute. This notebook that I'm using is not made for watercolors. It's from the company Scribbles That Matter, and the paper is really nice. Like it's thick. But I'm pretty sure it's not made for watercolor, but it does handle them fine. I'm trying to get to the end so that I can get like an actual sketchbook, mixed media sketchbook to use. But this is working. The paper is holding up to the watercolors pretty well, so that's cool. This day, my husband had the day off, so we went to town and ran a couple errands, and while we were in there, I was like, let's go get pancakes. I'd been really craving Pancake House for a couple of weeks, and I saw the opportunity and seized it. Sometimes you just really get a hankering for pancakes, and the only thing you can do about it is go have some pancakes. So I ordered blueberry. It's always a toss-up for me between blueberry and chocolate chip, and I do love blueberry pancakes, but next time I think I'm gonna go for the chocolate chip. Another thing that this practice is good for, which any drawing practice will yield this result as well, but it's practice. So like I was really into the way that the watercolors, like in my cup of coffee and then in these pancakes, were reacting with each other. I liked how the blueberries were like bleeding into the brown of the pancake. But then I came in with my pen and I ruined it. I outlined the whole blueberry, and I shouldn't have done that because that took away from that watercolory effect. And I did the same thing on my coffee cup. But now I know, like, I don't have to outline every single little element. I can use the pen to just like highlight, accentuate certain parts of the drawing without like doing a full outline on everything. But you gotta make some mistakes to learn stuff like that, you know? I'm new to the whole line work thing, outlining my work at all, so it's good to work this stuff out. And you can only do that through repetition and practice, so. Before I started using the watercolors, I was getting really into using alcohol markers. I was liking using them just as like a base, just a layer of color to put colored pencils on top of. But then I realized that I can use the watercolor in the same way, and I'm finding that option to be more appealing for a couple of reasons. So, first of all, the alcohol markers bleed. They bleed terribly. So I can't really use them in this journal anyways because I like to use both sides of my pages. So there's that. But then also, I had one dry out on me, and the kind that I have, the brand doesn't have replacement inks. I know some brands do. And I ordered replacement ink that works in other markers, but I can't find the exact match for the one that ran out, which is one that I was using the most. And it ran out really fast, and I don't like that. It seems really wasteful. It just seems really wasteful and inconvenient. Like I'm right now, I just want something. I want the convenience factor. I need it. Yeah, so it's inconvenient. It's wasteful, it's inconvenient, it bleeds through the page. So for me, I'm not thinking alcohol markers are the way to go anymore. So I'm appreciating the watercolor set and my little water brush. I do have to wait for stuff to dry, but I am learning to work with that. Like I can move on and do something else while I'm waiting for the paint to dry. Plus, I'm just really liking the way that it looks. I'm really just liking this style. I'm coming from a place of wanting full control of my medium and working very tightly, but my whole goal has been to let that part of me go, and these watercolors are helping me get there. I just like how these pages feel. They feel like they have some personality, some life behind them, you know? Yeah, I'm just really into it. And I'm excited to keep working this way. It's fun and it feels good, and I like the results, so. So I go through these phases where I am interested in astrology and I want to know all the things about astrology, but there is so much to know. There's a lot going on up in the sky. I don't personally put a lot of stock in astrology, but I do think it's fun. I think it's interesting. Whether or not you believe that your fate is written in the stars or whatever, I love anything that deals with your identity and personality and like can give you tools and language to better understand yourself, which I think astrology is one of those things. So on this page, I am drawing a crab because it became Cancer season during this week, and I am a Cancer rising, and I'm not exactly sure what that means to a level where I could explain it, but it means something. And I'm a Scorpio sun, Cancer rising. Anyway, all that aside, I love this crab that I painted. Oh, this page is funny. I bought one of those bodysuit exercise. They're like spandex, one-piece bodysuit. They're meant for working out in. I've seen plenty of women wearing them on the internet, and it's like, oh, that's cute. Like I could wear that around the house. I got one, and on me, as cute as it looks on everyone that I've seen wear them, on me, it just looks like a wrestling singlet. It cracks me up. But I do wear it to clean the house because, like, I don't have to tug on any of my clothes. You know, you're moving around a lot, bending over and whatever. I don't have the waistband rolling down that I have to pull back up. It's nice for that. So I just wear it to clean the house, but it cracks me up every time I put it on. So I drew that on this page just to commemorate some humor. Also, I just really love drawing people. When I was younger, I always loved drawing people and clothes, but that's something that I left behind a long time ago. And so I've been enjoying kind of revisiting drawing people again. So this is me in my wrestling outfit. On this last page, I am painting a sunset. We have been having some very dramatic sunsets. It's been stormy and cloudy and just makes for really cool sunsets. So on this day, we were sitting outside. My husband and I were sitting out on our deck, just hanging out, watching the sunset and watching the nighthawks. We have lived in our house for like 4 years. And in the summertime at night, like in the evening when the sun starts to go down, we would always hear this noise, and it's a hard noise to describe. Maybe I can play it. Hold on, let's see. It kind of sounds like a deep whistle or a horn or something. That's what it sounds like. And we would always hear that noise, and we could not figure out what it was coming from, what was making that noise. So I was like, oh, it's gotta be a bird, or maybe it's a frog, like a bullfrog. I have this bird app that listens to the birds and identifies them, and it picked up the call that the nighthawks make, but I didn't listen long enough. If I had listened all the way through, I would have heard that it also has that sound. But I just heard the call that they make, and I was like, oh yeah, that's the nighthawk. Something else is making that other sound. But we never figured it out until this summer. My husband finally was like, I know what's making that noise. It's the nighthawks when they swoop down. Like they'll fly really, really high in the sky and then they dive down really fast. And that's what makes that whistle noise. I'm actually a little disappointed in myself for not noticing that sooner, but I was glad that he figured that out. Mystery solved. And it is cool to watch them. This is the bird lady and me, I guess. So this has been a long video, and if you are still here, I appreciate you so much for sticking around. I hope that it was fun for you. I hope that you found some inspiration in it. Maybe you can take away some ideas for your own practice. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, and don't forget to like this video on your way out. I'm trying to post videos every week, so hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye!